Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft, and I'm back for Game 2 of ZvT Cup 152's Grand Finale. Of course, this is going to be between the little one, as the blue Zerg player in the bottom left-hand corner, and in the top right-hand corner, we've got the red Terran player, Empire.Kas. And this is going to be Game 2, once again, on Daybreak. And first game, actually, really good one, both of them fighting it out. I thought the little one had it closed off in the first, 10 minutes or so with that 2-base Baneling Roach, but Kas was able to hold on. He was able to fight back. I think partly because the little one gave him some leeway by expanding instead of going for the throat, and partly because Kas just microed his offensive medevac greatly. I mean, that medevac full of a very small amount of troops was able to do a lot of damage and buy Kas some time to get back in the game. But the little one was able to close it off. He was able to get the victory, and here we are in Game 2. I do have to say, Kas's playstyle from the games I've seen and from his Liquipedia page, he is more of the conservative type. And it's interesting to see these two fight off, because you've got the little one who's known for his unconservative play, unorthodox, completely balls to the wall, and then you've got Kas, who's more of the traditional macro conservative Terran player. It's almost like a role reversal, because typically Terrans are the ones who are aggressive and Zerg are the ones who are passive. But I guess not today. So it'll be interesting to see if Kas is able to play his safe game and get a victory here in Game 2. Daybreak, I certainly feel like, is a map where if you're going to play that kind of safe conservative style, this is a map to do it on. It's a big map. It's one of the traditional maps that have been carried over to play today, along with, I think, Cloud Kingdom, and I think that's about it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is one of those maps where I think, playing macro, you've got basically two different pathways, one to the north and then one to the south. I'm showing you guys right here, and the one through the center is basically blocked off by rocks, debris, which basically makes it more of a game where you got to take the long way around instead of taking the shortcut, and it further adds to travel distances between the two bases, really, until the late game. So yeah, it's one of those maps where I definitely feel like Kas, if he's gonna play that safe conservative playstyle, this is the one to do it on. And the little one, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct in my thinking here, he did go for a Nidus Worm on this very map. I think he placed it right here. He went for Proxy Nidus, and then he started to make Swarm Hosts, and he used the Locust to siege out Phallo's natural expansion. And exact same spawns, exact same spot. So, that is a strategy that he used against Phallo in the semifinals of this tournament. And so, you think maybe he's got a shot here. Maybe he's going to do that same exact thing. That's the thing about the little one. Don't expect the expected. He's got all the tricks up his sleeve. And right now, he's actually not mining any gas at all. So I'm more inclined to think this time around, he's going to play more conservative game as well. He might actually go for a quick third expansion and try to out macro Kas. We'll see if that's the case. He's got some Zerglings coming out right now, and I think these initial Zerglings just for preliminary pressure. Although Kas is actually bunkered up the front door. He's not gone for the Reaper that we usually see in Terran versus Zerg these days. He's actually gone for a very conservative playstyle here. He's gone for command center, bunker. He's destroying the neutral supply depot right now. But, a super macro opening here from Kas, and we'll see if he decides to throw down a macro CC as well. I think that would be totally crazy right now, given that I believe he went CC first already. But that's the thing about Kas, man. He loves that eco advantage. And here comes the Zergling. He's going to be able to pick off one SCV, but that's probably going to be it. I don't see the little one able to do much more damage beyond that. Those Marines getting confused for a second, stepping back into the SCV line. But the little one has pulled out. He's not going to try to pressure this anymore. And actually, he only lost one Zergling for one space construction vehicle, which, is an okay trade-off. And he's actually thrown down a Roach Warren here, which, I wonder, he saw the front door and he's like, wow, that's a really fast command center. And in fact, there's a macro CC coming up from Kas as well. I wonder if the little one is going to try to do the same thing he did in the last game, which is just a Roach Baneling bust. And in fact, even though he hasn't scouted the macro CC, if he does go for this attack right now, I mean, it's going to probably win him the game once again, because the macro CC, it's 400 minerals invested into the hole for Kas, which he won't be able to have on the field in the form of bunkers or more Marines or Marauders. Really, it's just a huge sink which could end up, like I said before, biting Kas in the butt. We'll see though. A couple of queens here spreading creep tumors out. We do have 5 roaches on the way. And we'll see if he decides to throw down a baneling nest momentarily here. I definitely feel like the little one could be going for an attack. No, he's actually making drones now. And deciding to switch it up, he's actually going to expand and go for drones. So these roaches are just for a little bit of early pressure, map control against Hellions, and to keep the Terran inside of his base. These roaches are more of a defensive army of roaches rather than an offensive army of roaches. And the little one here is going to try to out macro Kas, and we'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Obviously, these roaches aren't going to do any damage at all. Look at this wall from Kas here. I mean, this is like the Great Wall of Terran. How do you bust through this? I don't think it's even possible to do. And the little one is going to try nevertheless. He's actually found a bit of a weak spot here with this supply depot, and he should be able to break this depot down. At the very least, he can stay here and keep the SCVs from mining. And actually, he ends up killing one of the SCVs somehow. It like ran back here and died. But there is a hole in the wall. There is a leak, but the thing is, the little one, he doesn't know there are widow mines back here, so if he tries to run through, he's going to take a little bit of damage. Oh, right there. Loses 1 roach and a little bit of superficial damage, and by that token, I think the little one should now realize, okay, you've got widow mines. I'm not going to try to, you know, press my luck here. I'm going to stay back and play it safe, because I don't know how many widow mines you actually have, and now Kas has actually gotten Hellbats on the field. Did he research transformation servos? No, he actually just started producing Hellbats. And so he's got Hellbats on the field now, which, you know, they're better against roaches than Hellions. They're not amazing against roaches, but they are better than their Hellion counterpart. And now we've got a couple of siege tanks coming out as well. So Kas is going to go for mech style this game. And the Overseer is going to scout out the 5 factories in the main base and the macro command center. And when you see a Terran, wow, when you see a Terran going for a build like this, you know he is going to hunker down, and he is not going to push out until he gets, you know, his 5 factories operational, until he gets a sizable army, I think around 130-ish supply, and then he's going to push out and claim the 3rd base. And the little one, I mean, he knows now that Kas is going for the late game. And in fact, he's got a Spire coming up in the background. He could actually catch Kas by surprise with Mutalisks. You know, one of the weakness about Terran mech, I feel like one of the weaknesses of Terran mech is versus air, but you have to remember the Widow Mines are effective against Mutas now. In Heart of the Swarm, you don't have to rely only on Thors anymore. You have Widow Mines, and Widow Mines are actually pretty damn good against Mutalisks. I mean, look at how he's positioned these mines, and he's even got a little bit of a missile turret grid as well. I think Kas is going to be alright. I think he's going to be well fortified against potential mutas. And if you look at Kas's supply now, he's shot up to 133, and right on mark there, he moves out around 130, 140 supply, looking to claim that next expansion. So yeah, Kas is looking great. And unless the little one is able to micro these Mutalisks like he's never microed them before, I don't know how he's going to be able to get any damage done, because as soon as he flies into this grid of anti-air defense, he's going to get taken out. He's going to get shot down out of the skies, and I don't know how he's going to be able to get any damage done with the Mutalisks at all. He at least does have a 4th expansion coming up, and I do like how he spread offensive creep tumors on the map. Look at this, man. He actually brought a queen all the way out here to poop out some creep, but it is going to be quickly evaporated by the Terran army. Kas is not messing around right now. He is out to kill, and he kills off almost all the creep tumors, which of course prevents vision and you know, just gets rid of it. And allows this expansion to feel a little bit more safe. So very nice job by Kas right now. Let's check the upgrades. It looks like just 1 weapons for the Terran army, and vehicle plating is on the way. I'm surprised he doesn't have a 2nd armory down. He should. You know, if he's going 5 factory mech, you definitely want a 2nd armory. I don't know what the delay with that is. But the Mutalisks do end up revealing themselves here. That's a lot of mutas, and I like how the little one has tailed the mutas with some Overseers so he can see Widow Mines. But I still don't know how much damage these mutas are actually going to be able to do. I really doubt their efficacy here. And it looks like the Mutalisks are going to try to get some damage done, but honestly, they're going to kill a few SCVs here or there. But the Thors are here, There's a lot of Widow Mines in the background. I don't know, man. I think the little one is going to have to pull out. It's just looking increasingly unlikely that this is going to be successful. But he once again tries to fly in. He's definitely giving it all he's got because he knows that he's invested so much into these mutas. I mean, about 1,200 of minerals and gas. And he hasn't had anything to pay off for it. He hasn't shown anything to justify that cost. And now the Terran army is rolling out. That is a lot of Hellbats, Siege Tanks, Thors, and a few Widow Mines to boot as well, I think. No, he left his Widow Mines at home. But he is going to be able to quickly take out this expansion. But hey, look at this. We have a Zergling run by. There are a lot of Widow Mines he has to clear first. And he decides against running through his entire army, which I think is a good idea. Too many mines back there. Meanwhile, the hatchery has gone down. We actually have Broodlords on the way from the little one, intelligently realizing, hey, this army, there's no Vikings at all. You know, there's no way to stop Broodlords. If I can get my Broodlords out in time, I should be okay. And he's morphing his Broodlords right now. Meanwhile, another expansion getting raided by Hellbats. Most of the drones were able to make it home safely. No, actually, they're going to get roasted right here on the way home, I believe. Although, no, the Hellbats are targeting the hatchery, but I think eventually these drones are going to die. Meanwhile, the Broodlords have revealed themselves. The Broodlords are out and about, and there's nothing this Terran army can do about Broodlords, although Kas has killed off 2 hatcheries and 23 drones already, so maybe it's not too bad even if he loses his entire army because he's put such a dent into the little one's economy, and he's still not stopping. He's pushing in with all of his Hellbats here, just roasting piles of Zerglings and drones. The Hellbat army will not be stopped. The drones are trying to escape. Meanwhile, all the tanks have been cleared out by the Broodlords. The Hellbat's still trying to get rid of these drones. Eventually, they are all cleaned up, though. But has the damage been done? Did Kas, you know, losing his entire army there, was it justified? You know, for killing off 2 hatcheries and about 30 drones? I would say it's pretty close because right now there's a big imminent counterattack coming, and unless Kas can hold it off, I think it's going to be, it might end up hurting Kas in the end, you know, losing his entire army. He does actually have a solo Hellbat back here trying to get rid of whatever drones he can. But here comes that big Broodlord army. And I don't know if Kas he's producing Vikings right now, but, you know, does he have enough Vikings on the field? He's only got 3. He needs about 12 at the minimum, maybe more because there's so many mutas and corruptors. He needs a lot more than 12 guys. And I don't think he's going to be able to hold off the counterattack. You know, at the end of the day, losing his entire army, I think he's going to suffer the repercussions of the counterattack. And how can he stop this army? He's transformed his Thors into high-impact payload mode, which I don't know if that's the right decision. I think I would rather keep them in their AoE mode to crush the Mutalisks. I think that was the wrong decision, but at the very least, he's focusing the Broodlords here, trying to take down the Broodlords first. Vikings coming in 1 or 2 at a time. Will it be enough here for Kas to hold on? It's going to be such a close fight. He needs more anti-air, though. The problem is he's only got 2 star. He's actually got 4 starports, so he should be able to he should be producing Vikings very quickly here. Is it going to be enough to stop this attack? The problem is there's still like 7 or so Corruptors and 12 Mutas. And now the Mutas are going after the Hellbats, Kas realizing, hey, my Hellbats are worthless. I might as well go on the offense. But the Mutas are in hot pursuit. And meanwhile, I don't know if Kas is producing enough Vikings. That's a problem. He might just be out of money and gas. He's running pretty low on the second on that gas. And I think that the little ones got this game, but then again, what about all these Hellbats? They survived the Mutalist party chasing them down, and they're actually going to burn down this hatchery here, and that is going to be successful. So Kas gets a hatchery kill. So all is not lost here for the Terran player because he survives the assault by air, and he gets a Hellbat party to kill off a hatchery. He sends all of his Hellbats on a suicide mission, and at the very least he's successful in killing off that hatchery. So it's a very, very close game, I feel. Maybe Kas he needs another base. I feel like that's the only thing that's holding him back. And here comes the little one, just bearing down with everything. Corruptors, Mutas, Broodlords, and he's brought all of his queens as well. And I don't know if this time, I don't know if Kas can hang on. He's got a lot of Thors and Hellbats, but is it going to be enough? The Zerglings are all quickly roasted. He really needs Vikings with his army here, but the problem is there's too many Corruptors. And I think this might be GG. I think the little one is going to get game 2. He will get game 2. GG calls Empire.Kas. Ukrainian player has gone down for the second time today, and TLO, the German star, has won 2 games now. It's going to go down to game 3, ladies and gentlemen, in this best of 5. I hope you guys enjoyed. So far, so good. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't want to say much more else, so let's just go on to the next game. I'll see you guys there. HD, signing out.